So happy Saturday, happy Saturday, happy Saturday. Wanted to jump in here really quick. Had an absolutely awesome last several days. Got a chance to just get in front of a bunch of new coaching clients, and wanted to share some tips on being ultra successful, because I know every lots of people come in at different levels, and if you're like me, you may have looked, especially if you're starting out brand new, or maybe you're doing a relaunch or whatever it is, or maybe you're just not getting the results that you want. And it's like, what do successful people do? What are the things that they do differently than I do? And so I broke this down. I wanted to break this down, and just a heads up, I've got six additional. I know I shared six tips here, six steps, or six things that make successful people successful. And I think going through these, especially number 3, when I get to it, we'll dive in a little bit more deep on that for you. And the whole goal is to make an impact for you. So 6 simple habits that people use to set themselves apart from people that aren't. And success can always be measured in. Oh my goodness, this thing isn't working out the way I want to. I got to show you this too. This is my, yeah, really cool. Got the Higdons up here with their little Higdon things. And anyway, just thought I'd show you, Ray and Jessica. This is my cup that sits on my desk. I actually keep my pens in it. Thank you for all that too. That VIP package you guys sent out was freaking fire cool. It was really awesome with all the books and all. Anyway, come back. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So coming back to this, I want to talk about these tips. Go through here. Number 3 is fire. I've got 6 additional tips that if you want them, shoot me a private message. You'll definitely want to do that, especially jumping into tip numbers. Hold on a second. I want to make sure I have these are in the right order. Yeah, tip number 8. Wow. Absolutely freaking phenomenal. If you want the additional 6, tip number 8 is definitely where you want to go. So definitely shoot me that. If you're catching this in one of the groups, you just popped up as Facebook user, you need to click on like the StreamYard link so I can see who you are, at least who your name is. I can see your comments. So I'm going to go through these. And number 3 is you'll figure that out when we start talking about that. So jumping in this really quick, see if I can make this work. Yes, it's working. So what makes successful people successful? One is, we talked about this the other day, is having sort of an emotional intelligence. It comes down to having a really nice emotional intelligence more than anything else. So basically, we're going to go through and talk about that. Super successful people delight themselves in blowing their personal goals out of the water. Ray Higdon was talking about going for no, basically, and it was 20 no's a day. And I haven't even sat down and taken the time to back my math and how many people I have to prospect to get to 20 no's a day, but I'm having a feeling it's probably somewhere up in the 400 or 500. It's ridiculous. He also talked about doing a Facebook Live every day, which was very cool. So my goal with this Facebook Live is to keep it under 10 minutes so I can post it on LinkedIn. And I also want to put it over on Instagram. So we're going to roll here because I've got a little less than 7 minutes to go. What's up, Coach's wife? So really appreciate that, Glow. Thanks for swinging by. So what is it that makes ultra successful people successful? Let's talk about these 6 tips. And again, if you want 6 additional tips, reach out to me. Tip number 8 is just off the chain. The next 6 are just off the chain. So 1, they're composed. Super successful people are composed because they constantly monitor their emotions. They understand them, and they use this knowledge in the moment to react to challenging situations under self-control. Number 2, they're knowledgeable. They do their research. They do their homework. They have the right mentors. They take action, and knowledge comes from taking action. I say this all the time. If you want to get results, take action. Knowledge also comes from taking action, because if you don't take action, you don't learn nothing, right? Super successful people know more than others do because they're constantly working to increase their self-awareness. They vow constant growth. I'm always talking about the push. I'm talking about the push, right? Whenever they have a spare moment, they fill themselves with self-education. They don't do this because it's the right thing to do. They do this because it's their passion. If this is your craft, if network marketing is your craft, you need to jump in all heads down and go head down, fire hustle, as I call it, and go to work. Number 3, and this is my all-time favorite, they're freaking deliberate. Super successful people, ultra successful people reach decisions by thinking things out, seeking advice from others, and sleeping on it. They know that, as studies show, impulsively relying too much on gut instinct is ineffective and misleading. Being able to slow down and logically think things through makes things so. When you're deliberate, we talk about moving forward with deliberate intention, with purposeful intention. That's writing it down. And it's not staying writing it down. It doesn't mean I'm going to write this down forever. So we go into some kind of creative avoidance stance. It's like we're going to write this down. So we're going to move forward. We're going to take action. We have an action step we can look at. I talked about that to some of my coaching clients tonight. I talked about write down what your income goal is or where you want to go. Write down how much volume you have to be at to get there. Map out what your team has to look like to set that up. And then on the other side, write down what you're going to reward yourself with when you hit each one of those goals. It's a very big part of that vision building. So you've got to do that. Then, of course, moving into how many people do you need to reach out to put the presentation in front of them to make sure that works, right? You're very deliberate in that process to make sure that works out for you. And here we go, just what I was talking about. They speak with certainty, right? That's a rare to hear super successful people utter words like such as, I'm not sure, I think about it. So one of the things that I talk about is using broken words or broken mindset and unbreaking that thought process. So words that you would say like, well, I don't know. Well, if you did know, what would you do? So it's how you talk to yourself is very important. The things that you set yourself up. If you say, I'm not good at prospecting, never say that. Say, I'm a super prospecting machine. I work with professionals. I get highly qualified people on my team. Joel Osteen is really, really good at that type of talk. So I would recommend, if you don't listen to him, go listen to how he talks and listen to his cadence and listen to his voice tones. It's very important. You got to say it out loud too. It even helps if you write it down. So they speak with certainty for sure. They use positive body language. You never see somebody that's a professional that's really good in sales, somebody that moves forward in a slump talking like this. You know, most of the time they're either standing, they're sitting up, they talk loud, they have good cadence in their voice, and they move forward for sure. So they use positive body language by becoming cognizant of your gestures, expressions, and tone of voice, and making certain. So your tone of voice is very important when you're talking to people. So if you change your cadence, you can talk really fast, or you can slow down to make a point when you're saying something to people. It's very important to do that, right? So using an enthusiastic tone, uncrossing your arms, maintaining eye contact, and leaning toward a person when speaking, or draw them to the left or to the right, right? You look over here, you look over there, then you lean in and you say something. There's some magic in that. That's a whole nother training down the road. Number six, they leave a strong first impression. They leave a strong first impression. Research shows that most people decide whether they like you within the first few seconds and first seconds of meeting. You ever meet somebody you feel like you just want to throat punch them just right out the gate? I know I have. Guilty. That's me. It's like, I don't like this person. Then they spend the rest of the conversation internally justifying their initial reaction. This might sound terrifying, but by knowing this, you can take advantage of it and make huge gains in how people respond to you. And when you get really good in sales and you get really good in your word kung fu and you get really good in engaging people, you can really get them to doing this with you when you're having conversations, or leaning in or sitting back or crossing your arms and leaning to the left or leaning to the right. It becomes a lot of fun. So if you like the 6 additional tips on what super successful people do to be super successful, shoot me a private message. Like I said, there's some tips in here that are just absolutely awesome. Like number 10, definitely want to hear that one. Shoot me a private message. I'll get those tips to you. On that note, 14-day challenge is coming in November. We'll get you some dates. You definitely want to participate. A lot of fun. It will change your life and how you grow your business. It will change your mindset and how you see yourself in your business. Absolutely cool. I think this will be 14-day challenge number 6 for me. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to crush it. We're going to blow it out of the water. It's going to be a lot. We'll make sure we get the dates for you coming up here pretty soon. I love you. Jesus loves you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'm on a mission to have no more empty refrigerators and make an extreme impact and be a legacy creator. I hope you are too. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.